Hey there. Today I'm going to talk about seller possession after closing and what that means. Okay, so sellers can negotiate in the offer to purchase contract with the buyers that after the buyers close on the property, that the sellers can possess the home or rent the home after the home is closed and the buyers now own it for a amount of time specified in the contract or the addendum, and then they would move out. So, what does that mean? That means that the sellers now are staying in the property for a few more days, maybe a couple weeks, or whatever the term is, until they move out and move into their new property. A lot of times, sellers need this because the place where they're going isn't ready yet, or they don't want to move twice, maybe to a temporary situation, and they need some more time. But the buyer needs to close now or sooner because of maybe interest rates, or the buyer needs to own the property and get closed on it sooner than the seller can get out. So there's two things to know about this. One is the buyer's loan, if they have a loan, typically states that they're going to move in the property within 30 days. So you got to be careful when doing seller possession after closing that it doesn't go over the limit of days that the buyer's loan now might consider them fraud. So you have to make sure that seller possession after closing isn't a long-term thing. And if it is, that the seller actually signs a lease with the new buyers. A lease would be a more protective way of protecting all the parties in the transaction. And also, when doing the final walkthrough, it's really hard when the seller's furniture and everything is all still there to see the property and things under rugs and stuff that you can't always see until the stuff is out. So generally, this is a practice that we don't push for buyers and sellers because there's so many caveats and things that can fall through the cracks. And if there's not a lease in place, there might be some issue. And, if the seller still in the property something were to happen to the property, which insurance would cover the property, because now the seller's insurance is canceled and the buyer's insurance is on, but it's for the buyers, not for tenants. And it's for the buyer's belongings, not for the seller's belongings. So there's a lot going on here, a lot to think about. So if you're considering doing a seller possession, I highly recommend you don't and move on to the next property. But, we have situations where we have to cater to this, and real estate agents get the attorneys involved, and we make sure that it's a smooth transition and whatever needs to happen takes place. So if you have any additional questions,